Chicken Katsu curry, one of my favorite meals to eat growing up. Creamy, crispy, delicious, and so simple to make. Let's get into it. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Trell, and in this video we're making Japanese chicken katsu curry. I grew up on this dish being in Okinawa roughly about the first 7 years of my life, and we went to this spot called Koko Ichibanya, and they have, to me, some of the best curry that I've ever tasted. Let's get into it. Come on, let's go. So the ingredients that we're going to need in today's video are salt, pepper, chicken breast, bacon. Now you don't have to use bacon, but that's how I made it growing up. Carrots for the stew. Now I actually haven't used carrots yet, so this is going to be an interesting little process with them. Eggs, flour, jasmine rice, panko breadcrumbs, peanut oil. You can substitute it with vegetable oil. Golden curry roux, which can be found at Walmart, wax paper, and some cutting boards. All right, y'all, so we're going to prep the chicken first. So we want to get this flat because you got these thicker parts that are probably going to cook slower, and you got these thinner parts that are going to cook way faster. So we want to try and make that as even as possible. I actually just used to put the chicken in and just let it cook that way. It was still good, it just took a little bit longer to actually cook. All right, so there's one. It's pretty even, I think. We're gonna do that to the other one now. I can only see this side and it looks straight, but then this side is always cutting down. So I think I need to make sure that side is also straight up. I guess it's a little bit more even. There you go. So now what we're gonna wanna do is beat the hell out of these things. Oh, and also make sure you wash your hands before you touch anything else, so that way there's no cross-contamination with the chicken. If you have a mallet, go ahead and get you one. If you don't, you can use a pan. Anything that has a large surface area, really. You could use your iPad if you want. Don't use your iPad. Don't do that. I actually never used a mallet before. We about to see how it goes. Let's go. Now we're going to use some wax paper. So we're gonna put the chicken in between the wax paper, like so. And we're gonna do like Michael Jackson and beat it. So you wanna start with the thicker side and work your way down to the skinnier side. So now we got pretty even chicken breast. So the next step is going to be to get those carrots together. Karo. All right, y'all, so for this, we're going to be peeling the carrots. I'm going to rinse them off real quick. Never used a peeler before, so, you know, be careful if you're using one. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that was very easy. Holy moly. That is insanely easy, and that's insanely satisfying. Wow. Bro, this takes like little to no pressure, like at all. This is insane. That was much easier than I thought it was going to be. I've seen people, when they're actually doing it, like, I mean, they be like this, but we ain't doing all that. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do now is basically, you know, dispose of the shavings. So that's what we're gonna do. Look at that. Basically, oh, well, okay, all right. So once you've peeled your carrots, now you're gonna wanna cut this little stem piece off. So we got our carrots prepped. All right, yo, so now that we got the chicken prepped and the carrots prepped, now we're gonna prep the bacon. Now the thing is that if you're not gonna use bacon, you can skip to this timestamp, like right here. Editor me, don't forget the timestamp, right there. Right there. All right, so what we're going to do with the bacon is basically slice it down, because this is going into the curry itself. You want a good amount of bacon because the fat is going to basically render down. You're not gonna have too much bacon if you only have a small amount. So at the end of all that, you should have a mound of bacon. All right, so we're gonna be chopping up our carrots as well. So what you wanna do is, well, cut these pieces off as well. I'm now seeing that. You don't wanna chop them up like this. What you wanna do is, I actually don't know what the technique is called, but you wanna like cut them off. We lost a soldier, guys. But you wanna cut at an angle and rotate the carrot. So that way you have these like big chunks. These are gonna go into the curry. Something like that. Yo, like that. Now we got our carrot. So we have our carrots. All right, y'all. So once you have your bacon and your carrots chopped up, now we can move on to the curry stage. I'll see y'all over there. So first off, what we want to do is get a pot and then put the temperature of the burner on like medium. So what you could do right now actually is just put the bacon in there. Just slide it in. We're gonna get that to cook down, get it nice and cooked. What we're gonna want to do is cook this down. So literally you're just gonna want to move it so that way the bacon doesn't get burnt. I'm gonna let y'all hear some. Let's get a little ASMR-ish. That's the sound of good eats right there, baby. Yes, sir. But it smells so good. So while this is cooking, I would encourage y'all to clean up stuff that we've already used. The cutting board, even the other knives and things that you've used as well. You can get all those out the way while this is rendering down, so that way you don't have to worry too much about the after cleanup. And don't forget that the bacon is also cooking as well while you're doing other stuff. That is a good way to burn things. We don't want anything burnt. We want everything to taste so good. Ah! Once you see that all the chunks are turning into bits like this, you can really just cut the heat. We're going to remove all of the fat. Basically, we're removing all the juice. Now, you can store this or you can dispose of it. And then after that, we want to get the bacon bits out of here as well, so that way we can make room for the carrots. I'm putting paper towels just in a paper bowl, so that way it sops up more of the juices. And put it in there like that. And we got some bacon bits, baby. They still sizzling too. Just listen to this. So now what we're gonna do is, like I said, ouch. So that was a little hot. We're going to dump the bacon fat into the bacon jar. If you're keeping it in something, make sure it's in glass, because it's still going to be hot, and you know, you don't want it burning through plastic and things like that. And if you're disposing of it, make sure that it's cooled down completely before you do anything. That is my warning for y'all. All right. Hopefully we don't make no mess. Let's hope for the best. So now we're going to do the carrots. So from what I read on Google, with carrots, to get them soft, you're supposed to boil them in water for about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna put in just about 2.5 cups of water. Don't ask me why this pitcher is so big. That's not gonna be enough. We're gonna need more. So we're gonna put a lot more water in there. Ah! Why? Why did it do that? Once your water is coming to a boil, you want to put your very roughly chopped carrots in. All right, and let them cook for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're about fork tender, which means when you stick your fork through, it goes in real nice and smooth, real easy. So while that's boiling, we're gonna move on to the rice. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all wash y'all's rice? Well, you should. I recommend that everybody just get a rice cooker. You can literally just put it in there and forget it. So how much rice we need is going to vary. And I'm going to measure out about 1.5 cups of rice. That's one. Okay, 1.5. Have my rice right here. If you have a strainer, get yourself a strainer. So what I used to do is I used to just wash the rice like this. I literally mix the rice. You see how cloudy that's getting? That's not what you want. You want to make sure that rice is washed, you know, with an R. It's probably going to take you 4 or 5 times. I don't know, somewhere around there. Whenever you're doing it like this. Now, the strainer method I'm new to. We're going to try that out too. Now, some people save their rice water. Apparently, it's supposed to be good for something. I think it's hair. You also want to run this underneath cold water, so that way your rice isn't cooking. So once the rice is washed, now you want to put it back in. So for the water part, it's a 1 to 1.5 ratio. I'm gonna go 1 cup here. I'm gonna do a half. Since we did a half cup, I have to add half of 1/2, which is 3/4. And now we're good to go. So just like that, now we got our rice ready to be cooked. And with the rice cooker, as simple as plugging it in, putting it down to cook, putting the top over it. And we're done with our rice. All right, y'all, so the carrots have been in here for a little over 10 minutes. Let's check them. I don't think they're ready just yet. They're still a little hard. And the reason why, I'm pretty sure, is because we cut them so rough, but that's what this curry recipe really calls for. Now this one actually went through very well. So I'm gonna give it maybe 2 more minutes, and then I think we should be rocking and rolling. So now we're gonna cut up our curry. This is a Golden Curry brand. I believe you can get this at Walmart. This is what it looks like. I'm basically just gonna slice this down like into finer pieces so that way it cooks faster. So once that's chopped, now we're ready to put this in the water with the carrots and the bacon. All right, so once your carrots are done, now you're able to just put your curry in. Well, my phone died, y'all. That's what it's supposed to look like. If this isn't thick enough for you, you can let it boil some more. That's how you thicken up the roux. Once you get it to your consistency, you can cut the heat to low. Bacon bits are going in. Incorporate that. Yes, sir. Look at that. That's thick with 2 C's right there. All right, y'all. Now for our dredging station. So what you're gonna need here is flour, 1 to 2 eggs for egg wash, and your breadcrumbs. And you can season your breadcrumbs too if you wanted to. So for me, I'm going to put some salt and some pepper in there. And I'm also going to put a little bit of garlic powder in here. Mix this in. For the chicken, we're gonna wanna put some salt and pepper, season our chicken a little bit, pat it down. Push that down. You shake off any excess flour as well. Then you move it into the egg wash. Like that. And then we want to put it in our breadcrumbs. Bam. You want a lot of breadcrumbs, so that way the chicken is really crispy. Shake off the excess breadcrumbs. Once we got this done, you can put it off to the side. Now it's ready to be fried. Rhyming like that. So once we're done with the dredging station, put the chicken in the fridge for 10 to 30 minutes to let everything set. And once that's done, we go over to frying. So now what do we do with our dredged remains? I put them in a plastic bag, tie it up, and I throw them away. We finally moving on to the chicken. So you're gonna need your oil. I'm using peanut oil because I believe it makes the breadcrumbs a little bit more crispier. But if you're allergic to peanut oil, or you just want something else, you can use vegetable oil as well. It works just the same. So we're gonna pour a good amount of oil in here. So I have a candy thermometer. I'm going to set this in there. Once it hits 350 degrees, then it's good. We're ready to put the chicken in. All right, y'all, so I took the chicken out the fridge. Looks like we're ready to go with that. Once y'all got y'all levels at around 355, that is not 355. When your levels on your thermometer is reading about 355 degrees, we ready to cook. Let's go. If you don't have a candy thermometer, you have some panko, right? Some breadcrumbs or some flour. If you see the panko rise up like that, it's ready to go. The flour, same way. So whenever you put some flour into the pot, once it starts bubbling up and fizzing, usually you should be ready to go. But a thermometer is almost always going to be more reliable than that. So we're gonna take our first piece of chicken. The way to put it in is to put the bottom piece in first, let it go all the way to the bottom, and set it down gently. Oh, I said gently. We're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes or until golden brown, and you have to make sure your chicken is at 165 degrees internally. We do not want our bad neighbors to come and ruin the fun for us. You know, Sam and Ella.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So here's why I say the panko flour test is not as reliable as a candy thermometer. It's because when you put panko or flour into the pot and it reacts, you don't know how hot it really is. I know for me, there's been times where I put the chicken in there and literally it just goes and the breading is fried in like 10 seconds. I would recommend getting a candy thermometer, honestly. I feel like it's much better. And if you can, get yourself a digital thermometer too. Looks like it's about to be done on one side, flip it on the next. So I just put my thermometer in and it's reading 171, which means we're good to go. I'm about to take this out, see what it looked like. Yes, sir. That's what we like right there. Once you're done, you want to put it on the draining rack and then get your next piece of chicken ready. All right, y'all, the rice is done, the chicken is done, and the curry's done. So now the moment we all been waiting for, the plating. Let's go. First, look at that, perfectly cooked, still juicy. Oh my gosh. I think what I was saying by putting it in the fridge before you fry it worked. Usually the breading that I had would fall off as soon as I put a knife to it. So this is an upgrade. This is amazing. Grab yourself a plate. All right, y'all, we finally got it done. Look at that. Looks so good. Oh my gosh. Y'all ready to eat? Let's go. Pick up y'all's forks. Itadakimasu. You ready? 3, 2, 1. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Carrots are nice and soft. Chicken is nice and crispy. The curry is doing what the curry needed to do. Oh, that's good. I don't know what else to say. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. If y'all want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what you want to see next. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. This buzz. Oh my gosh. I'm about to tear this up.